Hello everyone. We are waiting for a few more guys to join. Okay, so to start, so guys, this meeting, this webinar will be recorded, and any questions that you have, please write down in the chat, and we will discuss at the end of the webinar when we have time. So now going through, I hope you can see my screen, the presentation here. So this basically is to educate and to tell you how we are transforming the event management with Pega. And here I am. My name is Dhaval Karani. I've been working with Millennium for over 7 years for now. Having total experience more than 10 years. So here working with multiple projects with different kinds and domain. So let's go. Let's start with the webinar with this topic. So now the agenda will be to know about Pega, like what is Pega. And then we'll talk about the transformation, how we transformed event management into Pega systems, and basically a competency. What is the expertise? And at the end, we will answer your questions if you have any. So moving on. First of all, what is Pega? So Pega is a business management tool which is built on Java. It is basically powered on a low-code platform, and it offers multiple features like a case management, the workflow automation, basically reducing the manual work here, and case management. So everything that we do is a case, like it's a process. Also, many things are here based on AI and decisioning. Like Pega is automated, like it takes own decision. It doesn't wait for manual user interaction. And the last one is the integrations. So here Pega is capable to integrate into multiple third-party systems, which can function very well with flawless execution. So this is about Pega. And now these are the components about Pega that we are using in the application. So Pega, like key event management system, is built on Pega Infinity 23. Earlier, this was built on the earlier version. So right now, through many years, we have been evolving. Right now, we are working on Pega Infinity 23, the version. Again, we are working on Theme Cosmos. So Theme Cosmos is a UI element. Pega has multiple UI kits, like UI kit, Theme Cosmos, or constellations. Right now, for this application, we are working on Theme Cosmos. And the third one is the deployment manager. So basically every environment, like the system will be like development environment, the testing environment, user acceptance, and the production. So how do you migrate your deployments? This is how we are using Pega deployment manager, which is seamless, and we do not have to depend on third-party applications for deployments. And at the end, we are using PostgreSQL. Like PostgreSQL is what we manage through the database systems, how we are handling the data, and how the logic is built upon. So with that, this is kind of how we are achieving the platform, like how we identify the fragmentation. Basically, there are multiple such similar applications which are working on similar modules. So we are identifying how the fragmentation works, and then how we build a standardized solution. So here we will talk later on. So here what we did was we built a unified Pega platform which accommodates all the multiple fragmented systems here into one single centralized solution. And the streamlined operations for anything, okay, like the deployments, the development team, and even if you want to globally reach out, how we are streamlining the automations, how we are automating things, how we are standardizing the processes and everything. And measurable gains, again, this is what the business is related to, like what they are gaining from. Even if you are unifying something, what gains are we getting here? What is the profits, or what is the suitable response, like the compliance or governance is getting here. And at the last, global growth. Any project or any organization, they will reach to have a global growth. They want the presence to be global. So how we are doing this? With event system, which is unified Pega application. So moving on. So here, what are the core issues? So again, let's understand event management system is just a use case. What we'll discuss right now, this will be applicable across to any Pega applications for any domain. This is not related just to event management. It can be related to anything, any domain or any application. Okay. So now let's discuss what are the core issues that we face right now. As I said earlier, the fragmented applications. In case in organization, there are multiple countries involved. Okay. So now for each country, they have built their own application for Pega or maybe for other technologies as well. So here what we did, we identified how many similar applications, like behaving, like serving the similar purpose. What are the segmented system we identified? And these were the core issues because they have to maintain of everything, which in turn leads to high operation cost. Because for each system, there will be different development team, quality assurance, the BA team, and even the vendor management. Like basically, it will be separated silos. It won't be one centralized solution. Each application will have their own centered team, which in turns into inefficiency of the resource utilization. Because if you don't have single team, the team would not be aware like what is to be done in the future. Because each country would have their own demands, and team will not be efficiently used. So here, basically, we were lacking a development approach, like on the global level. And again, the vendor management was disrupted. Scalability, because what we discussed earlier was this was individually implemented for each country. But now, because it was not global application, it was lacking scalability, not to reach on the global value. So here, it was only implemented for single application on a single country or a single region here, not globally. And at the end, vendor management. For example, event management or anything, we need some vendors, right? They want to provide you the accommodation or transportation or so more. But here, if we have different applications for each region or countries, the vendor management will be very complex. You will have to handle everything for individually application, not global here. So these are the core applications, the core issues that we observed. And this is what we resolved in the future. So now coming to here. So what are the benefits once we implemented the centralized solution here? The application consolidation. So as I said, we had a unified global application, which we merged like all the other technologies or other applications from multiple countries or regions, okay, into one single application, which is unified or which is global. So here it standardizes the application, which in turn reduces the cost. So because with one single application across the globe, the development team or the QA team, the BA team, like overall the entire team will have a single process. They will not have multiple processes here. They will follow the single process with compliance and with governance, which in turn will reduce the costs. And how would that? Because in case you have multiple applications with multiple technologies, the licensing cost, the training cost, or the development team, or the whole team, it would reduce. Because right now we are following one single approach here. In turn, it improves the collaboration. No matter how many vendors we are in the single team, but it increases the collaboration because we discuss directly with the team. Otherwise, if we have multiple systems here, we will not discuss with them any problems because the teams are divided into multiple regions or countries. But here, into single application, the collaboration is much more encouraged. They will come to know with the problems. Again, the development team, QA team, and every other team will be collaborating together to make the product successful. And scalable architecture, because as I said, it's a global application. Okay, so now global application, basically for any other country who wants to be part of this, they can just implement this on their behalf, not to implement a separate application for the purpose, but they just want to be added. This application they can use based on the requirements and based on their needs. So as a global architecture on Pega, this application can serve all the needs that we have for each country or each region. And again, which in turn solves the vendor management. Because vendor management right now, it will not serve to multiple applications or countries. It will serve to one single application which is global. So no matter which part of the world you are, the vendor management will be simple, okay, and it will be flawless. So now moving on, the transformation. Okay, so now this may be something technical here, but here what we did was business process manage automation. So any business would have the processes, right? So here what we did with event management, we have multiple processes like the event management or the invitations or the contracts or the approvals or even the payments here. Okay, let's consider right now we are organizing an event or maybe a concert. So for a concert, we want to invite some band or a musician. Okay, so a concert is an event. So here I would like to invite the band or the musicians here to play and even the audience. So again, it will be an invitation to them, right? But now coming to contracts, so which each band or a musician, there will be a contract, correct? So for each contract, we need to identify the region they are belonging to, the country or the source. So now this will be something which have to be handled. Again, for each band or organization they are part of this, they need to be paid, right? The payment conditions. And again, for each country that they are belonging to, the tax values or something, the compliance will be differ. So now, as we said, as an event management or a concert, right? If there is any band coming up, so each individual performing there needs to be paid. So whatever the money they are asking from needs to be approved. So here we will also have the approvals here. Again, the payments, like how do we do the payments? The payments will not be in cash. Okay, so this will be through some online payments here. So this is what we handle here using business process automation. We are managing the core processes like the event management, like on overall basis, and even the internal ones. Okay, so second thing is about the scalable application landscape. So here, what do we mean here? So as I said, right now we are working on Pega Infinity 23. So we are working here since the version 8, like around a long time ago. Okay, but here what we need to do is we need to cater to all the needs and application and requirements for all the countries or for all the regions, because each country would have their own requirements and different conditions here, because this is a global applications, right? So now what we need to do here is, because it's a scalable application, we need to maintain the architecture that in the future, if there is some more requirement here, we should be able to cater to all of them. Okay, and we should not be in a position that we cannot service them. So here, this is something technical here, what I will say right now. This is how we build a modular design. Okay, so as we are working on Pega Infinity 23 with Theme Cosmos, we followed the approach which is called as DCR, dynamic class referencing. So dynamic class referencing is basically we had multiple case types. For example, if it's an event management or approvals or payments or contracts, for each of them, we made a separate case type. Ideally in Pega, what we would do is we have a parent or child relationship, but here it's an individual case type. Also, they are related. Technically, we have related them, not with the relationship, but with the logical structure we have maintained them, like a contract or an invitation will be related to the event, not as a parent or child, but as technical logic here. Okay, so this is something called as DCR. And also what we did here, because each country will have their own configurations, right? Because it's a different configuration, a different rules here. So now what we used here is called as data types or the data tables. These are something like database tables, which can be configured per country or per region as they wish to, and they can have their own conditions. So for example, if I'm creating a concert for India, okay, and I'm calling one musician from India, so I need to pay the money as per the taxes to the musician or the band as per the India region. Okay, so now the conditions here will change. But in case if I'm calling a band from Poland, to India. So now they are coming to play in India, but will be paying to them in policy waters, right? And here I need to follow the taxation and the compliance as per the Polish government rules. So here basically what we did here is we implemented everything into data types, decision tables here. So again, this will be delegated. So there is a role called as functional admin. So functional admin is kind of an access who will have ability to update these rules, the tables, and they can manage the configurations for each country here. Again, for different purposes. This is how we did, this is how we maintained the configurations, the settings, like for each particular case type into different countries, just to fulfill the needs and also to maintain the compliance. Because for any organization or any domain, you need to maintain the compliances as far as possible. Otherwise, there will be some issues from the government side or the governance. So here right now in Pega, still right now we are serving for more than 90 countries here. Still, the score that we have, the compliance score, the technical compliance score in Pega that we have is 19.5 plus, which is huge because such complex application and maintaining such 95 plus as a compliance score is a big deal. Okay, so now coming to the enhanced user experience. So as we discussed earlier, sorry. So right now we are working on Theme Cosmos. This is a user experience because earlier we used to work on UI kit. So user experience is enhanced because Theme Cosmos is an upgraded version of UI kit. And also what we did here was we have personalized dashboards. So again, for each application or each organization, they need to have some security, how they can secure the application so far. So here in this application, what we did was we implemented was something called as entitlement system, which is SSO based. So entitlement is basically it will serve you based on the region or the country you belong to and what purpose you are, like what access you should have. Like in case if you are a band or if you are an audience, so you would have that particular access to access the application. Okay, so here as I said, it's an entitlement system. So in the whole application, we are using a single access group. Normally in other Pega applications, we have multiple access groups, right? But here in this application, we have only one single access group and we are maintaining the access, the security based on the access role, which is we are fetching this from the entitlement system. So in case me, Dhaval, if I want to access this system, I need to apply for that particular country or the region for which particular role do I need to. And then based on the approvals, because for each role, you need to have an approval. Not everybody can be allowed to have every role. So based on the approvals of that entitlement system role, you will have access to log in and go to a dashboard, which you are able to see. For example, as I said, right now I'm organizing a concert in India, but I am belonging to Poland. So now I will not be able to see the contracts, the concerts which are going in India because I'm from Poland. I can only see the concert which are going on live in Poland. In case if I want to see those even in India, I need to apply for the access role in India. And somebody from India, the management team will need to approve for me to allow to see the concerts going on in India. This is how the security works. And this is how it works to improve the stability and the compliance, just to make sure not everyone is able to see or able to access everything which is shown. And now going on the streamlining the deployments. So now, as I said, because we are automating a lot of things, all the processes into one single application. It in turns, it boosts the deployments. So now it will be single application team, right? The deployments, the development team, the quality assurance, the BA team, the Scrum Masters. So it will all be focused on one single application, not to be worried about multiple regions or countries because it's a one global application. So now how does it work? We work in agile methodology. It's a part of Scrum or Kanban as preferred. And here each team is provided the specific timelines and the priorities that we are working on. So now also we are working on Pega deployment manager. As I said, we are not working on any third party to deploy or to migrate our code to the next environment, but we are working on Pega deployment manager, which in turn is very sensible and quite activate, quite automated, to just pick up your products, like whatever you need to deploy to the next environment. So again, we have a separate deployment team who will work, diligently on deploying the products, also to communicate with the release management team and the development team if everything is ready for them to deploy. So here we are streamlining the deployments, the developments, just to maintain the timelines. And also here, because it's a global application, the developments are streamlined, because for each country go live, or each country they need some products or some features, it has to be streamlined into the phases. So here we are providing that into phases. Okay. And at the last, we have the integrated. This is something very important, because every global application will definitely have multiple integrations or applications, like the APIs that we have. So here in this application, we have around more than 10 APIs or 10 different third-party applications or integrations here. So first of all, what we maintain here is the Google Suite, the Google Drive or the Google Calendar. So we use Google Calendar here to maintain the repository. In case if any user upload any document or any material here, we are storing this as part of the Google Drive as a repository. Okay. And coming to Google Calendar, so in case, for example, if there is any concert organized in Mumbai or India, so using Google Calendar, we are timelining those, like we are maintaining a calendar as a meeting, and we are inviting all the people who have registered for that concert. This is how we are using Google Calendar here. And moving on, as I said about contracts, like for each band or any musician, we need to have a contract. But again, I will not go behind, the team will not go and manually they will not get it signed. So here we are using DocuSign, which is an expert in e-signatures. So basically we are using Google Drive as a document which will be generated by the system automatically, and then we will initiate this document to be sent to DocuSign, and with the email ID, the musician or the band or anybody of the team, they would get this in their email and they would sign this electronically. So basically the team would not have to go behind them manually to be signed. Moving on, also we have the CRM systems or the SAP system just to fetch the data. As I said, also like for musicians or any band, right? If we need to maintain some data, we are fetching this data from CRM or SAP. And moreover, we are using Solace and MuleSoft to handle the payments. Solace we are using to maintain the payment queues, and MuleSoft is an expert in maintaining the APIs between the external parties. So we are using MuleSoft here to maintain the process from Pega to Solace to the end system, which is paying out to the partner. So this is how we are transforming this. We are building the entire ecosystem here, which is worldwide and which is not separated, like which is not distributed across countries. Like if any country, if they come up with some specific reason or some requirements, this system is capable enough to handle every system that we have, because we have configuration, as I said, right? So data tables or the settings that we have are much more flexible and suitable for such systems. Okay, so now moving on. Okay, so now how are we driving the global growth here? So what are we achieving here? So as we have a unified platform, as I said, as we discussed earlier, it's a cost and efficiency gain, because we are reducing the cost by the licensing, because everything is built on Pega. We don't have multiple technologies for multiple applications and multiple teams. Earlier, as I said, it was different teams for different countries, maybe even for different technologies, not just Pega. So right now, since everything is built on Pega, we are efficient enough to reduce the cost and provide much more gains here to the end users and the business. This is how we are reducing the cost. Also, here, any system that if the users want to train or if you want to use, we have trainings, right? So now since we have only one system here which is unified, there will be a single training for all the applications, for all the C features or for all the use cases. So here we are reducing the cost, even the trainings, the licensing cost, all the application teams and deployments. As I said, we are using Pega Deployment Manager, which is built in Pega tool. So here we do not need to use any third-party application for managing the deployments or for migrating a code to the next environment. And here we are improving the efficiency. And how are we doing that? Because Pega is a low-code platform which is built on Java, but here we are implementing this efficiency here because we have a good resources, the development team, the QA team, everybody is better here. So we are improving the efficiency because we are utilizing the resources as per. And here we are enhancing the user experience because also as we are working on Pega theme Cosmos, which is the next level of the UI that we have in Pega. Also, we have the personalized dashboard. So here, not everybody will see whatever is in the application. They will only get to know what they are suitable for based on their access. So here we are enhancing the user experience. So each person or each individual would only get to know what they wish to see, not everything. And the global engagement, because as I said, right now with this application, we are serving more than 90 countries. Again, I think there is a plan to go maybe serve the entire all the world. So here we have more than 2,500 users globally active. So here we have a Google engagement. So now we are still more requirements coming here to process. This is how we are driving the growth globally. And what is the path forward? So again, Pega, because as you know, Pega is built for change. So first of all, we need to still optimize the solution so that because going on forward, this application will be grown globally, right? It will be growing globally, and we need to include much more features and facilities here, even much more configurations. So now we need to optimize this application or the architecture here for the global rollout. Again, as I said, in case if any country wish to go live with our application, I think it would not take more than a month for them to go live because the applications, the features are already included. These are already implemented. So now the global rollout will be much more easier because we have faster deployments. With Pega Deployment Manager, it will be much more easier and feasible to deploy the changes. And much more important is to reduce in the manual efforts because Pega is built for change and we are automating the Pega processes here. So I think it's almost 70% that we are reducing the manual efforts. So in case if you want to even create any concert like approvals or something, every workflow is automated. So here which reduces the manual effort, in turn which reduces the errors, because normally no matter how expert or how aware you are about the system, as a human we can make mistakes. With reduction in the manual effort, with Pega, the errors will be reduced, which in turn will cost saves, okay, which will in turn save the costs, because any error in the application, even in the financials or even in the process, may lead to big expenditure, which we do not want, right? This is how we are saving the cost. And also with Pega AI coming up, we have multiple tools on Pega AI like Pega Blueprint or Pega Coach or Pega Knowledge Buddy. With those things, or even with predictive analysis, decisioning AI, and NLP, we will be using those in the next versions, so on forth, just to improve and to automate the processes so far. And so basically, the Pega can intelligently process the workflows and reduce the efforts here. As I said, the main part, for any organization or for any application is to be up to date to the governance and the compliance. Without compliance, I think this would not be worth of it. Right now, we need to follow the governance and the compliance, be it any domain, be it healthcare, finance, banking, or automation or insurance. For every single domain, we do need to maintain the governance and the compliance. This is what we believe in, and this is what we need to maintain here. So moving on. So this is what we have This is the expertise as Millennium. Like, what are we delivering? As I said, we have an expert team, the entire team of the development team, the QA team, the business analyst, the project management, even the scrum master. Even the Pega development team here, we have certified service system analyst, senior system analyst, and even the lead system analyst. And also the business analyst here, like even myself, I'm a Pega certified business and architect. So here, in case if even though I have more than 10 years of experience, I have much more, knowledge about technical Pega knowledge here, and also about the processes of the domain that I work on. So here, this is our expertise as part of the Pega competency in Millennium. Here, basically, we are working in such a model, we are a module-based system. So we have the deployment team, the QA team, the business architect team, and everything, which in turn will improve your efficiency, reduce the cost, and reduce the risk, which in turn will increase your risk, increase your revenue, and improve the compliance here. So I think that's overall from my side. Let me know if you have any questions. I think I have multiple questions here, which was some of the time message here. So the questions are: what were the biggest challenges in consolidating multiple event systems into one platform? Okay, that's a good question. So yeah, there were some challenges because each system that we've had was not exactly built on Pega, but even on different applications or different technologies. So here we need to analyze and bring into a single Pega version and even into a single architecture. It was challenging, but we need to do that, and we did this just to be online and to be globally available. And there is second question, like this is something technical. How was DevOps and CI/CD implemented for Pega instances? CI/CD. Okay, so as I said, right? So as we are using Pega Deployment Manager, so Pega Deployment Manager is basically into continuous improvement and continuous deployments. So with Pega Deployment Manager, we are using the deployments here. We are increasing the deployments which are quick, and here we are improving the CI/CD pipeline. So here we have a framework where we need to improve the process, basically the workflows. So it can be, deployed into multiple environments that we have. Okay. I think those are the only questions. So guys, any questions from your side? Please let me know. Okay, so if no questions, I think at the end, we will also share the presentation slides and even the white paper that we promised to you. Okay, so the marketing team will reach out to you and they will share the slides and the white paper to you all. So I think that's all for this presentation. Thank you everyone for joining and hope you have a good day.
Millennium. IT for people. People for IT.